Hey guys, it's Nicole. So just to introduce myself, I'm a communications and new media student at NUS and I'm in my second year, which is coming to an end. But anyway, in my How I Budget as a Uni Student video, I briefly shared that I made $3,700, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down and sharing how I made that amount. And hopefully in sharing my experiences, it can give you guys some ideas on things you can try out as well if you're looking to make some extra cash. So I've actually tried all of these things, so I'm coming from a place of experience and I've actually done these things while being a full-time uni student, so it's definitely possible. I'll talk a bit about my lessons and tips from my experiences at the end of this video, so let's just jump right into the side hustles. The first one is a no-brainer. It's a part-time internship or a part-time job. I was working at an NFT startup, and I would think that a part-time internship can get you anywhere from $600 a month to $1,200 a month on average. So in March from my part-time internship, I made $1,080. And of course, when it comes to part-time work, I think a very clear one is F&B. You get to select your shifts. So I think that arrangement really works if you're a student. And I think the pay for F&B can be quite good. So that's another option. The next thing on this list is very exciting. It's something that I'm very keen to explore further, and it's the area of freelancing. So the idea behind freelancing is you're offering your services and you're providing some value in exchange for money. So I think that's what really matters. If you're able to bring value to someone with whatever skill you have, I think that's awesome. So if you have any monetizable skill, I think it'd be exciting and interesting to explore how you can use that skill to provide value to others. And also it'll be great if it can be done remotely. So the first freelance kind of thing that I want to share that I did is social media marketing. Given my online kind of experience, I think it really helped me get an opportunity to work on the social media content as well as planning for a brand. So I was working with an essential oils company, and essentially I was planning her content and I was doing a bit of content creation and photography for that. So from that I was able to earn about $200. And the next freelancing thing, which is kind of similar, is video editing along with videography, but mostly video editing. So I've been editing videos for an expat who lives in Singapore for quite a while now. Interesting story to share. So back in winter, I was editing videos for her, but at that point in time, I was charging $60 per video, which is quite painful because the kind of footage that she would give me is like hours of footage from like a different country because she goes traveling and it's vlogs. So it really took a lot of time, and I think being paid below what you think you're worth makes you very dissatisfied very fast. So I think it's important to know when to negotiate and ask for a higher pay. I took a break from editing for her because I was that upset at myself for not kind of negotiating a better rate. I think it's so true when they say that you're not being paid for the hours of work that you're doing, you're being paid for the years that you put into honing your craft. Recently, she reached out to me again to edit her videos, so I proposed a much higher rate. So I asked for $150 per video, and she was okay with it. So now I'm making a lot more by editing her videos, and I edited 2 of her videos in March, so that's $300. Also, another videography or video editing thing that I'm doing is with Little Red SG, or with Bruce Matthew. So essentially I follow Bruce around different hawker centers or different places in Singapore and just film him kind of reviewing the food and talking a bit about the food and his experiences, and maybe even interviewing the different stall owners or founders. So I think it's been very fulfilling, and Bruce is such an amazing individual. And I think another thing from these experiences is it's been so amazing getting to meet new people. So from this video editing freelance or job, I got $800 in the month of March. And the next freelance that I'm most excited about is UIUX Design. This is definitely something that I want to keep doing and keep pursuing in the future as a career. The fact that I was able to start freelancing as a UIUX designer has been so exciting, and I love it so much. So given that March was kind of my first taste or my first time like doing freelance UI UX design for someone else, I wasn't charging too much. My friends have been telling me that I've been undercharging for my designs, but it was like my second experience doing that in March. So I got $200 for redesigning a website for this automobile kind of software development company. So moving on from freelancing, the next thing is instructing or tutoring. So I knew that tutoring any academic subject would be a real pain for me because I'm maybe only English, maybe English is fine, but even then having to stick to the curriculum, having to buy textbooks and know what's going on in primary schools, I would be hesitant to teach secondary school because I think I would have a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that I see the child's score improve after I tutor them, and I think that's not a kind of pressure that I can deal with right now. So instead I opted to do instructing. So I'm teaching race car engineering to kids who are from 6 to 8 years old, and they're so precious, they're very playful, they're all boys, so I feel like they bully me sometimes, but nonetheless I think it's an interesting experience. But of course, besides coding and engineering things, there's like music. If you can play an instrument, oh my goodness, I think being able to be a music teacher is awesome. Or maybe even art or whatever it may be. If you have a skill that you think people will want to learn, you can definitely try out instructing or tutoring. The next thing is kind of cool. So it's research recruitment. So if you guys are in NUS and you don't know, Luminous has a research recruitment tab. So when you click on it, it kind of shows you the different research projects or experiments that are going on, and there's so many. So I think previously I did one for sleep. It was like a sleep study that kind of tracked my sleeping schedule and my hours. I was able to get $150 from that. But besides research recruitments, there's also external focus group discussions. So there are quite a few in this Facebook group and Telegram chats as well. I'll put links in the description bar below. But in the month of March, I was able to make $150 from focus group discussions. The next thing is selling digital products. So I tried this last month and it's been so exciting. Like, you work hard at some digital product, maybe it's a template, and then you sell it, and then people buy it and they find it useful. I made a UIUX Design Notion pack where I just compile all my UIUX learnings from over the years, and I constantly update the Notion page so that when someone buys the pack, it's like they're learning with me because they see the different updates. So it's all there, and I managed to sell 3 packs, so 3 amazing people bought it, and I'm just so thankful. So from that I made about $76. And next would be social media, or I guess in my case it's YouTube, which also kind of helped me get different opportunities on Instagram as well. Honestly, YouTube does not pay me much. I think I get like $50 to $100 a month, and that's that. But I think the opportunities and the money really comes in when it comes to sponsorships and collaborations with brands. So in the month of March, I was able to collaborate with different brands and different companies, and from that I managed to make $610 in March. And finally, it's Carousel. So it's a no-brainer. If you're selling things secondhand, you can look around your house, maybe you're spring cleaning, decluttering, and then if you're willing to part with any of your items, you can just take a picture on the app and sell it, list it on there. It's so easy. Thank you, Carousel. I'll put my link in the description bar below if you want to check out what I've listed on Carousel. There are different things on there if you're interested. And in the month of March, I sold my waffle maker, which I got many years ago, and it was still working, so I thought, why not sell it since I have passed my waffle obsession phase. Now I'll be talking a bit about the lessons that I learned. The first thing is to really ask yourself, why are you working so hard? I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. It's just you need to be very honest with yourself. In a similar vein, I think another question you can ask yourself is, what does money mean to you? So I think for a period of time, money was a source of shame for me. I just felt like, oh, trying to earn more money is so greedy, it's so wrong, like I should be content where I am. And like, honestly, money to me back then was something that felt a bit dirty, felt a bit hedonic, for lack of a better word. But honestly, money is just a tool. It's something that's needed to live. It's something that's needed to buy different experiences. It's a tool, essentially. It's really a tool. I don't know how else to put it. With that shift in my understanding of money, I think it's made me able to be a lot more honest with myself when it comes to reflecting on what it is that I want, on why I work so hard. So for me, at the end of the day, I want to have free time to spend with loved ones, especially upon graduation. I really love this freelancer thing, so I would love if I'm able to build up a portfolio to be able to work from wherever and just make a living from wherever I want and be able to continue selling my services and bringing value to people in that way through design or video editing or maybe even social media. So that is why I work hard. So I think it's just about you having to find that motivation, understand why you want to take on a side hustle or side hustles, and to have that drive you when the going gets tough, because as a student you're so busy as heck. So having that motivation serve as a reminder is going to be really helpful. And on the topic of time sacrifices, inevitably work is going to take a lot of time, and you're going to have to reflect on what you're willing to sacrifice and how much you're willing to sacrifice. So just keep within your limits so that you don't become overwhelmed or jaded or burnt out. So yeah, that's all I have for today's video. If you have any questions, do comment down below. I'll try my best to answer them. And I pray that you stay safe, happy, and healthy wherever you are. Bye!